I got to spend about 5 days in Gdańsk, Poland before a big sailing trip. Here's what that looked like. First, I had to get into the EU through Amsterdam. I am so sleep deprived. I am struggling to find my way through this airport. I was pretty disturbed by these weird sculptures. My ass is so sick of this shitty European toilet paper, and it's only been 15 hours. Some travel days are better than others, but I remember being so excited to film the Gdansk shipyards as I came in for a landing. I think these were them. I really hope that's not the weather that we're gonna have to sail in, but it's looking like that's just Poland, baby. This weather bodes well for my upcoming journey. Gee, I wonder if I can get an Uber to my hotel. I don't speak a lick of the language. I've been here for like 20 minutes, and I even forgot to exchange currency, but I already love this place. So after like 15-20 hours of kind of brutal travel, inedible plain food, I have finally made it. Not gonna lie, I was still pretty jet lagged the next day. I loved how it was just kind of standard for the normal buildings there to have statues. As I walked around and got a lot of fun B-roll, I was really amazed at the mix of traditional architecture and modern culture. And it was clean and well kept. One thing I really struggle with in Europe and in general, especially cities like this that are kind of older and cobblestone-y, is figuring out what's like actually a street for a car and what's a walking path. There doesn't seem to be much of a distinction. It became pretty apparent that this is a tourist city, but it had a new vibe that I'd never really experienced before. It took me a while to put my finger on it, but I realized that there were like no other Americans. But there is no quiet spot to just go sit and film myself, so yeah. Also, that bridge I'm standing on was originally built in the 1300s, and they call it the Bread Bridge because it overlooks this old mill. I mean, just the detail of the architecture here, even in the alleys, it's kind of blowing my mind. I mean, you walk into what you think is a parking lot, and it probably is. It's full of piles of trash and cars, and it's just this great masonry and statues and bricklaying, and it's just all, they put effort into how their city looks. It's beautiful. Now, the fact that is entirely brick is blowing my mind. Pretty sure that is a Catholic church. Yeah, so I'm basically completely lost in a foreign city, and I have none of their currency, and I speak none of their language. All I have on me is a camera and my phone and my passport, and I feel 100% safe. I've had my head either in my camera the whole time or just like looking up at the incredible buildings and architecture. Like, nobody has even bumped my shoulder. This is very different from some other European cities I've been to. That is how I feel. Look at that dude just chilling. Check those buildings out, even the new buildings here. I think this is what Disneyland tries to emulate. So if you look up Gdańsk, one of the first things you're probably going to see is this. This big building behind me is a crane from the 13th century that they used to put masts on huge ships. I eventually got to go inside the crane, but right then it was time to find some food. I think the street is called something like Dooley Targ, and it sure beats the hell out of Champs-Elysees, I'll tell you that. Just your casual lunch in Europe. Right around then, I was pretty sad Gianna wasn't there with me. Then, on my walk to the shipyards, I saw what I'm pretty sure is the most metal climbing gym ever. But even cooler, I got an up-close view at how these boats are made. I need to extend my stay. The boat's not quite going to be ready. It was back to the streets to find another hotel. What the? Nope, it is definitely not back there. Found it. This place is a little darker than the other hotel, but it's also $50 cheaper for 2 nights, so. I am on the hunt for a ridiculously long ice cream cone. I've seen them around, and I don't know where people are getting them. That's what I'm looking for. Ooh, are those long cones? No. I walked around Gdańsk for quite a while looking for the right cone.
This is the long cone I was looking for.
I later learned that they had longer.
Long cone.
This was my first time traveling with my camera and I was pretty excited, so I spent the rest of that day just walking around and collecting more B-roll. So I ran out for breakfast, but quickly I had to turn around. It's raining. Basically, it's the short of it, and it's chilly out. I found some breakfast at a scenic little cafe, and I'm pretty sure they're all like that in Gdańsk. What kind of burger place has an ornamental light like that? That looks like a building was built on top of a broken building, and then another building was built on top of it. There's no real good way to get a shot of it without a drone, but in the middle of downtown Gdańsk, there's this island where a lot of the newer construction is. This is kind of what the city used to look like. So I'm in the crane, which is pretty cool. You could see the inner workings, and they had a whole museum display thing going on in there. So I guess they used to just have dudes walking in these big wheels to move stuff. They would raise some pretty big masts, like, 100-foot plus. The whole place smelled like the inside of a barrel. Kind of standing at the edge, cantilevered over, and you can feel it moving. And it looks a little slanted. Of course, the views of the city were incredible. After that, I tried Georgian food for the first time. Georgian soup dumplings have a handle built right into them. It's an interesting concept, and they taste so good. Apparently you don't eat the top of them. After lunch, I took another walk to the shipyards. The boat's pretty cool, but it still has a ways to go. That's pretty cool. I was looking for a tall beer, and this is definitely it. Cheers. If you want to know what Polish water looks like, totally safe to drink tap water. I asked for a glass of water. I think they just wanted to charge me for a bottle. It's fine, it's cheap. And it does make me feel safer. Yeah, so that's the end of the next day. I'm in the new hotel. I got shown where the good soft serve was. I will be getting that at least 2 more times before I leave this town. I've reached peak influencer. I'm using my nice camera to prop up my phone to film myself drinking my morning coffee. Could be worse. It's a light roast cappuccino. So don't get me wrong, Gdańsk is for sure like a tourist city, but none of the other tourists are American, almost none of them. So I think from the American perspective, this is one of the most underrated cities in Europe. I was really stoked on this breakfast and that they gave me a bread basket all to myself. Well, that was a lovely breakfast, but I need another cup of coffee, and apparently there's a new trendy coffee shop that people online are loving, so I'm gonna go check that out here. I find it freaking hilarious that because of my, let's say, genetic heritage, everyone here comes up to me and starts with probably Polish or some other European language. No one ever tries English first on me. The coffee shop had a great vibe, and I waited out what was probably the world's shortest rainstorm. By the time I was done with my coffee, it was done raining. And I get to walk outside, and it's fresh rain. Everyone is just so happy to get out of my way when I'm taking a video or a picture or something. I don't know if it's the camera or if this is just like an uncommonly friendly European city. I don't know what that style of coloring on the buildings is called, the white with the dark wood stripes, but it's between that and intricate brick for my favorite. So in my wanderings, I have now crossed over into a different part of town. Less traditional and ornate looking buildings, more like apartment blocks. I think this street here is pretty cool. This feels like something out of Harry Potter. Can I get a kielbasa?
Yep.
Kielbasa. And that was pretty much the rest of that day. I spent pretty much the entirety of the next day provisioning the boat. Croc is telling me for 8 people for 3 weeks we need about 1,000 liters of water. We need like over 100 of these packs. We're gonna clear out this store and probably the store next to it. We'll see. Woohoo! Oh, janky. Load it up. Yeah, you guys are on these. Not sparkle. It's not even that hot out. I'm just stressed from hauling water and riding unlicensed in a foreign country. Back at the old shipyard. I think we'll have enough water, I hope. Just when I thought I was done, I got handed the keys and sent back out. So I'm basically in a Polish Costco. Gotta find a lot of stuff. 3 weeks worth of stuff, to be exact. Grocery haul, and we're not sure if it's gonna fit in our little Volvo. I never need to provision a boat again. And that was before my credit cards started declining. The receipt is so long, they ran out of paper. Our order was so big, it crashed their register, and then they said that we had to rescan everything, and I was like, you're kidding, right? But then they said they could do it from the receipt and we could start loading our car. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fit it all, right? This is straight out of like a bad sitcom. This is an adventure. Oh, did I forget to mention through all this, I don't exactly have a hotel booked for tonight. I don't speak Polish, but I'm pretty sure that means wah wah. And now my card, the one with the high balance that can handle this, is getting declined because they think it's fraud because I've tried to swipe it so many times. And I maxed out my other card just about. Thanks. That was one of the most stressful afternoons of my whole life. Success! Now we gotta call an Uber to get it all home. Woohoo! Once we got the boat packed, I had the most well-deserved ice cream of my whole life. Polish soft serve is seriously the best soft serve I've ever had. Probably the best on the planet. Thankfully, I was able to get a hotel, and then I went to bed. Friday morning. We'll see where it goes. We're gonna get on the boat today, and we are leaving today. We just had to grab a few last-minute things. This place feels like an REI but for boats, which means I want to buy everything in it. The next stop was Polish Home Depot. It's a Dick and Hobble thicknesser. I think this is it. I think we're the last thing holding up the boat from leaving. Once the bow thrusters pushed us off, we were officially underway, which meant my time in Gdańsk was over, and I was on to the next adventure.